Again, welcome and thank you for being here. I'm going to talk through just a little bit of what we're going to do today, but I just want to give a little grounding for how we like to welcome people at Pillsbury United Communities. We like to operate out of a space of radical hospitality, be welcoming. You have coffee, water outside all day, and so we hope you have a great day. On that note, I would imagine many of you are sitting at tables with your friends or people you know. So let's take a couple seconds and you should stand up and turn around and introduce yourselves real quick to somebody that you don't know that's near you. So I just want to be able to kind of highlight a couple things. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. So while that's coming up, I'll just start talking through some of the kind of things. So if you look at the spread, I want to say it's pages 8 and 9 or 9 and 10, where there's two opposing pages. There's one in 4 quadrants, and then there's also the 4 core lenses, it's called. So I won't really spend any time talking about the left side, but the 4 core lenses is what we really want to highlight. And so in our experience in doing this work for the last number of years, this is, yep, there it goes. All right, perfect. So this is what I want to spend a little bit of time talking about, is in our experience, we feel like if schools do these 4 things really well, it generally will lead to a higher performing school. So I think different schools do different pieces of this in stronger ways than others. Our hope is that over the next 5 years, we will build out programs, initiatives, and metrics that will strengthen these 4 things. So the first one is strong boards matter. We spent a lot of time on doing this in the last couple of years. So we developed this board governance framework as a way to simply show to board members what their responsibilities are. By show of hands, who is on your board? Who are on boards of your schools? How many board members do we have? Okay, a fair amount. That's a fair amount, probably about 20. So those of you that have been to school board trainings, what do they talk about? They come in, you talk about duty of care, loyalty, obedience, fiduciary responsibility, and you leave that 2 hours and you're like, I still have no idea what that actually means. And so we put together this framework to just really simply say your job is, number one, to hire and supervise your school leader, set clear metrics for them. The second thing is to make sure that academics are going in the right way, so there should be an ongoing review of academics at board meetings. School finances should certainly be healthy and strong. And so do you as board members understand how to read financial statements, balance sheets? And then at the bottom, we have operations and compliance. And that's at the bottom for a reason, because we find that most boards get stuck in this place frequently. Let's buy that new freezer. Let's think about this. And so you do have to have oversight of this, but we want to make sure that it has an appropriate place. Strong leaders matter. We focus on this for probably about the last 8 years that we've been doing this work at Pillsbury. We've been authorizing since about 2000, but this team for the last 8 years. And so we bring our leaders together frequently. We do events like this, and so we thank you for coming to that and contributing to your own leadership development. Educational equity is going to be one of the strong dominant frames for the day. So as you've walked through the program, hopefully you've noticed that there are a number of sessions that are focused around educational equity. We developed our own definition of educational equity after doing a couple experiments. When we would meet with folks, we'd ask them, what does equity mean to you? Often they would kind of wrestle with that answer. Sometimes they would say, it's like that drawing with the kids on the boxes. It's kind of like that. We Googled and didn't really come to a thing that we actually like. So the way that we define it is educational equity is about understanding historic and present day injustices and taking corrective action at an individual and systems level so that all can thrive. Our reason for that is we wanted something that was action oriented. It has to have some sort of recognition of the existing injustices and then focus on how we are gonna kind of get past that. So then this last one, 21st century literacy matters. These 7 things are just plucked right from Tony Wagner's book, who you're about to hear from. And these are the things that we think students really need to be able to know when they graduate from school. When we started this journey of developing this 5-year framework, we focused on literacy in just terms of reading proficiency. We got beat up pretty hard around that. One response was, will this encourage you to be more high stakes testing focused? There's other things beyond literacy, and so where we got through our research is to these things, and so I'll let Tony talk a little bit more about those. Before I bring up the next person, I do want to talk a couple of housekeeping items. So certainly this is a big venue. I don't know if you Googled it ahead of time, so hopefully you have walking shoes on. So there's a map in your program, so that will kind of guide you, and we'll have staff wayfinders to help you find your way to different breakout sessions. Most everything is upstairs. There are 3 rooms downstairs, including a set-aside prayer room. So Morgan downstairs, and you'll see a sign outside is for the prayer room. So if you do have any questions, most staff on their name tags have a red, in big red bold that says staff, so please feel free to ask them if there's anything you need. So last thing, I just want to thank our sponsors, the Grace Foundation, Bush Foundation, Edmentum, and Youth Prize for contributing to the day. It allows us to offer this at pretty low cost to you and your school leaders. So thank you to our sponsors for doing that. So with that, I'd like to invite Michelle Geddes from Edmentum. Thank you.